this blog is about use of semantic search inside the cursor, and how semantic search has improved the performance of the agent in cursor. And a lot of people talk about it because people use this as a counterexample to the argument that RAG is dead or something like that. And so I read this blog and in details, and let's read this together, and then I'll tell you what do I think about this. And but a spoiler alert, I have some mixed feelings about this, and I think my conclusion might be actually the opposite to what this blog is trying to say. So the blog says that semantic search is utilized inside of the cursor agent so that they can find relevant segments of the code that match the user query. Okay, so obviously, like we all know that coding agent like a cursor use regex based like a searching like a grep, right? So just pretty much this is like a very simple pattern matching search tool, very basic like a tool that agent use to find files and information inside of the code base. So this is one common method we see the coding agent does, and then on top of that, they also use semantic search. Okay. So to enable the semantic search, so they train their own embedding model and then build indexing pipeline. So I think this is pretty important for you to keep in mind. So they have to train a model and then build a pipeline to enable semantic search in cursor. And then here they goes on and then try to tell you that they conducted a comparison to find out how much benefits semantic search offer on top of the grep tool that they have. So like they have there is a offline evaluation, there's also online evaluation. So I think I'll focus mostly on the offline evaluation. So they have a benchmark data set, and then this data set is focused on retrieve information, and they have known correct answers. And then this evaluation is basically comparing the agent's performance when they have the semantic search or versus they do not have the semantic search. So when they don't have semantic search, they only have the grep tool. Okay. So here is basically the relatively improvement from the semantic search, as you can see here. So the summary that they have is like they achieve like on average 12.5% higher accuracy. So at high level, you think that's pretty nice, pretty sweet improvement, and I don't disagree. But if you look at this, the per model breakdown, right? So let's just look at the common frontier models like GPT 2.5 Pro. So the improvement is about 9%. GPT-5, the improvement is about 7%. Grok is about 12%. So the percentage is like in kind of a around low, like around a 10% more or less, right? So it's actually just in that neighborhood. And I think what's really important, interesting, is that if you compare Sonnet 4.5, the improvement is about 15%, but GPT-5, the point is only about 7%. Therefore, like the model difference alone is like a pretty big. It's like a 6 or 7%, like the model like if you use a different model or better model, you can achieve like 5, 6, 7% performance gain. And so then I think what's really important is that to get the what's claimed here, 12% accuracy improvement, they need to build the embedding model and the retrieval pipeline. So and as you can imagine, like that takes a lot of work. So then the question really is like how meaningful or how much benefit is that, roughly 10% improvement. I kind of excluded the performance from the composer because composer is not one of the frontier model. So 10% improvement, but you have to do a lot of extra like engineering work, and also as you can tell, like the model, just by using a different model or better model, you can achieve like a 6%, 7% performance improvement. Therefore, I think it's reasonable to argue that okay, if I don't do semantic search, I do not build the embedding model, I do not build the retrieval pipeline, I just wait until the model gets better, and then I can also achieve perform similar performance improvement by just using a better model. So that's that. And also, of course, they also talk about the online A/B tests, and of course, as you can see, in online situations, things become more difficult to measure, and although the signal is still pointing towards a positive direction, meaning the semantic search is indeed add value, but as you can see, the percentage difference is pretty low, and I would say that's maybe even in the margin of error. So meaning it's not that big. So so of course, let's read their conclusions. So semantic search is currently necessary to achieve the best result, especially in large code base. I agree. Yeah, when you use it, it gives you the best result. But I really think what's not kind of a factor in is that the cost of it. So if use of the grip is just so easy, I'm not sure the extra cost to get the best result is really efficient, cost efficient. But of course, it depends. If like a Cursor, they probably are well funded. They have very big teams, and they can dedicate a small team to work on this. I think then in that case, getting the best result could make sense when they have a lot of customers, a lot of users. So, however, I feel like I think what this tells me that if you build a similar product and you don't have a big team, maybe you do not need to consider semantic search, and the simple grip can be good enough. So those are just some thoughts I have about this blog post. If you have ideas you want to share your arguments with me, please leave that in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.